Okay, I got another story for you. And leading up to my own story, but it's always fun just to get these short, quick ones out first. One time, a good friend of mine, who I'd known for a handful of years, 5, 6 years, and hunted with, drank beers with over the years. Big guy, A-type, 300-pound dude, one of those Viking kind of guys with the calves on him, as big as your thighs sort of thing. And a real matter-of-fact guy. We were at a Wild Sheep Foundation banquet in Kamloops one year, and we're driving back on a Sunday. Everybody's hung right over. Had a good time. We stopped at the last gas stop in Lillooet, where you can stop for coffee or snack before you hit the Duffy Lake Highway. And the Duffy Lake Highway goes up and over top through the mountains and drops down into Pemberton where we live. It's a hotbed. It's been a pile of sightings around there. It's just the way it is. They are there. They're around there a lot. Like I've had the Whistler Search and Rescue people told me about finding 17-inch prints with a 4-foot stride that sank 3 times deeper than their feet in the snow by the Wendy Thompson hut. I know another kid and his grandfather saw one at the end of the lake, standing there looking at him while they're trout fishing. 2 carloads of people driving down the highway. Saw one run across the road with a mountain goat under its arm. A good friend of mine and his friends had made a ski tour cabin up, I forget the name, Van Horlick. It's a drainage, it's a valley that dumps onto the Duffy. They had a cabin up the head of Van Horlick, and they hiked in there to keep working out during the summertime, came out, and there's one standing there 100 yards away looking at him, walked into the timber. The list goes on and on and on. I had to mention that before I told you why. I obviously would bring it up before we're hitting the Duffy Lake Highway stretch. It's an hour-and-a-half ride, drive yet to get home, of remote mountains. So we're driving along, and my buddy's driving. He's got a black t-shirt on, so I can see his bare arms. And you'll understand why I'm making note of that right now. So we're driving up the highway, and I go, well, here we go, Duffy Lake. Keep your eyes peeled, SASQUATCH zone. Just gotta blurt it out. Yeah, my buddy kind of looks at me and goes, what do you mean? It's got one of those deep barrel voices, what do you mean? And I go, SASQUATCH. It's a hotbed here, man. I always keep my eyes peeled driving through here. There's been dozens of sightings. Have we ever talked about that before? Like, we haven't talked about this topic? He's like, no. Oh. Believe in those things? You ever seen one? Ever heard of any stories? And he goes, well, I seen some one time. I know it wasn't a bear. And he was dead serious. And like, if you want me to hound you at that time, not so much anymore. It's like, whatever, it is what it is. But if you want me to hound you, just murmur to me you might have seen something and it wasn't a bear and it wasn't human. I'm gonna be on you like a fly to, whatever, until you tell me and give it up. So I go, what? What'd you see? Serious? Yeah. What'd you see? You know what? He goes, just leave those things alone, man. And he just kept on driving, and he didn't have a humorous look on his face at all. And I'm looking at him, and you could visibly see the goosebumps up on both of his arms because the sun was coming in the window. You could see the goosebumps on both of his arms. This is a 300-pound guy. You could probably grab your neck and twist it off anytime. And he's visibly disturbed just at this 2 sentences on this topic. So for me, he's seen something. And I'm like, okay, well, you're gonna have to tell me about it. Just tell me about it. I want to hear about it. Tell me about your story. I'm not gonna say anything. Shit, dude. I'm not gonna make fun of you. I've seen one of the damn things. I've seen 2 of the damn things. They're theirs. You're safe here. Share it. And he was getting agitated with me because he did not want to talk about it. He didn't want to talk about it. And here's me. It's like, whatever. You're gonna have to kick me out of the truck. I'm not gonna shut up for at least another hour and a half till you tell me. And he got kind of angry. He goes, you know what, Steve? It's like UFOs. I'm sure there is UFOs. I'm not interested in UFOs. I don't want to see a UFO. I don't want anything to do with UFOs. I don't want to talk about UFOs. Keep UFOs away from me. It's the same about these damn things. I wish I didn't see it. He goes, I wish I hadn't seen it. I don't want to know about them. I wish I didn't see the damn thing, and I don't want to remember it, and I don't want to talk about it. All right? I'm like, So we're driving along, and then about 10 seconds later, I go, well, too bad. You're going to have to talk about it because I'm not going to shut up. Tell me what happened. Quit being a baby. Jesus Christ, get over yourself. So he caved in, and all he said was, he still kept it very vague, but it was actually on the other end of the Duffy Lake Highway, go figure, close to Joffrey, where some local natives tell me they don't go anymore. They don't go near Joffrey. But if you are curious and you know where the area is, it's that logging road, access road, downhill from Joffrey on the right-hand side, heading south. and he had driven up as high as he could go in those clear-cut roads, got up to the top, got out of his truck, and was going still hunting up to the timber, looking for a deer. And he said he was slipping along through the timber, starting to get a subalpine, where he started getting, patches of spruce and meadow. And he said all of a sudden he had an uneasy feeling, the hair on his frickin' body standing on end, feeling real anxious. And he said this thing got up across the meadow from him, like 25, 30 yards, got up out of the long grass in the scrub and walked straight away from him and disappeared into the trees. And I'm like, no way. And right away he's going, it wasn't a bear, man. It was not a bear. And it wasn't a human being. It was frickin' huge. And it was covered in hair. I'm like, holy shit, no way. I go, what color was it? He goes, it's like a charcoal gray, black color, more charcoal gray. And I'm like, well, what the hell did it look like? Like, what did it look like? He goes, it looked like a big, huge guy in a ghillie suit. Looked like a big, huge guy in a charcoal gray ghillie suit. He's probably about 7, 8 feet tall. I don't know how much the thing weighed, but that's what I seen. I walked away, and I turned around and I walked away. And I wish I hadn't seen it, and that's it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So there you go. There's another story. And it's amazing how tight of a circle in my circle of people that I'm associated with or acquainted with just where I live. It's so common for me to talk to somebody just where I live. It's just so common. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's not really ridiculous now, but at the time when I was first starting to look into it, it's a little overwhelming. I'm like, holy crap, man. It's easier for me to find a frickin' Sasquatch story in my own town here than it is a cougar sighting story, and that's a fact. But anyway, one thing you should all think about, you can look at the comments and all these stories that I've been sharing online here, and how many people out there have seen one of these damn things. And of course, you're going to get the other side of the coin. The other people are screaming, "Show me some proof." There's no proof. There's no pictures. There's no blood. There's no bodies. You know what? No, there is sufficient proof, and there is strong proof. And here's the proof that counts, and it counts right now. The fact is, you could fill easily, probably by now, a football stadium full of people from around the world who have seen these things. And these are good, honest, hardworking people in communities. Got it? And whoever started the trend, the sleazy trend of it being okay to discredit good, hardworking, honest people. Whoever started that trend, well, your time's up. You don't count anymore. Whoever began to make that acceptable, discrediting good people, was probably sleazebag lawyers. Okay, that's probably who started it. And unfortunately now it's mainstream. It's mainstream okay to discredit honest people. And your time's up. Your time's done. You're gone. Because yes, eyewitness testimony of good, honest, hardworking people is sufficient evidence. It's sufficient evidence in our society today in courts of law, and it is sufficient evidence when it comes to 10,000 plus sightings of these things just in North America, let alone the rest of the planet. All right? So if you want to talk about who's the lunatic, who's the ass, who's the idiot, who's the cult follower, who's the whatever, the words that you use to discredit people, it would be really entertaining to get, I don't know, not even a football stadium, let's just narrow it down. Let's get the MGM Grand. We'll get their concert room, and we'll fill that concert room with people that have seen these things, and we'll get one of you people who get angry and lash out at these people, and we'll put you in center stage, and you can stand there and look all those honest people in the eye and call them names and swear at them and belittle them for sharing what they've seen. Who's the ass now? Think about it. All right, so if you have made it to this point of this video and the other Sasquatch story videos, obviously you're probably a rational thinking person. You have an honest interest in this topic, and I have to share something kind of funny with you guys, because you guys get my humor, I'm sure of it by now. If you're one of those idiots who's actually still watching this video and you're about to hit caps lock and assault me verbally or anybody else, this is for you. When you see me opening up to these videos, making a big long statement about how I just do not give a shit what anybody thinks, which I don't, and what I'm actually doing is I'm subtly baiting douchebags, and it works so smoothly. It works every single time. It works so smoothly it's almost not even fair, because you've all heard of clickbait, right? clickbait. Well, when I start an opener or one of these videos with my delivery to those people, that is actually douche bait. Because if my opener actually pisses you off and makes you angry, you're probably more than likely just a plain douchebag. Because the humor in it is incredible. What's even more funny is when the douchebags, it pulls them out, it draws them out. It draws them out so easily, it's stupid. But why I do that is because every single time I draw a douche out with the douche bait, I delete them and I block them forever and they're gone. So it's kind of funny in a way, it's actually helping us because we're probably only 2 or 3 videos away from having a douche-free channel. Isn't that great? So yeah, if this, what I just said just now makes you angry or offends you, well, go ahead and reply, tell me something nasty so we can delete your ass and get you out of here. You can go somewhere back to your television show or with your big gulp between your lap or whatever the hell it is you're doing. All right, but that is what I'm doing. I am dropping douche bait so we can clean this channel up and get rid of the idiots and make this a real interesting knowledge-filled place. That's what I'm doing.